Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and the postman's been with my latest Total Tarot magazine. So let's open it together and see what we have in the packet. Okay. Okay, so we've got the magazines. I can't zoom out anymore, so this is what it is. Okay, so we've got the parts 34 and 35. I'll look at those in a sec. We have, let me see, the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Wands from the Art Nouveau, the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. The blingy cards, love them. Gorgeous, aren't they? Then we have our deck of the month. Let's get rid of the bag. Which is the Tarot of the Angels. Oh, upside down. Tarot of the Angels. I actually don't know this deck at all. No idea. So this is the little tuck box to put the cards in. So, shall we have a look at the deck first? I'll have a quick walkthrough of it and see what it's all about. We've got angel wings on the back. Okay. Again, so easy to open. I do like the way those are packaged. I'm hoping this video isn't too dark. We are about to have some heavy rain. It's coming in at the moment. We've had some nice days actually, but yep, the rain's on its way. So here we've got the title card with the Chariot image on the front. This is the back of the cards. They're lovely, the angel wings, and like a portal. So we start with the major arcana. Okay, so those are the cards. Quite interesting, actually. I thought, well, I didn't know what to think. I've never actually come across this deck before, Tarot of the Angels. But I just assumed, zoom in, I just assumed, you know, it'd be angels helping us through life's journey. But what I've noticed is sometimes they help and sometimes they hinder. So that's quite interesting. So if you look at, for instance, this here 3 of Wands, we've got an angel at the front and an angel at the back. And so the angels that are sort of hindering us seem to be in red or black. And the angels that are helping us are white light, as we see here. So it shows how we are conditioned to think in colour. And I think that's quite interesting. And some of the images are quite different to what you would find on your Radiant Wise Tarot. There's one. It's a very interesting deck, isn't it? I mean, our page here is definitely a crusader. And I wondered why in the Kings, let's get to the Kings, the King of Swords has a baby. Yeah. Why has the King of Swords got a baby? There's some stories behind these images, obviously, that I'm not privy to. So shall we have a little look at the magazines and see if it shines any light? One thing I will say, which I'm not too keen on, is the size of the borders. They're huge. So therefore, we're not seeing as much of the image as I'd like to, you know, with these massive here borders. I mean, is there any need for the numbers to be quite so big? Just a little observance there. Okay, shall we have a little look at the magazines then? Okay, so that was the cards. Let's have a little look at the magazines. So we've got part 34 and part 35. And we've got some large images from the deck on here, which is brilliant. Beautiful. Yes. Okay, so we'll start with 34. This is as wide as I can actually get the camera out, so I'll just doing this sort of thing. Part 34, collect the Tarot of the Angels, Major Arcana. And so, as you probably know by now, if you were to buy this in the shops, you would just buy one magazine and get half a deck, and then the following issue with the second half of the deck. But if you have it as a subscription, then it comes with the 2 magazines and both parts of the deck, Major and Minor. So we're here back with the Arcanum Tarot, which we had in parts 18 and 19, and this is about reading for strangers. Extreme time limitations. This is parties, okay. This is if you were going to read at a party for a lot of people, I think, looks like. Providing readings for people you don't know is an important step in the tarot reader's journey. So it's going from reading for friends and family to people you don't know. So it's a bit of an unknown, isn't it? You know, you don't know who's going to walk through the door, who's going to sit at the table, what their personality is. So I should imagine that's a little bit more challenging than reading for somebody that you know. We have here the Dark Grimoire Tarot, which is coming up in the collection, but it doesn't tell us when. Party cards. Types of strangers. The friendly stranger, the silent stranger. Yes, gives you nothing back. The emotional stranger. Yes, that could be quite challenging, actually, if you don't know how to facilitate somebody's feelings, you know, extreme feelings. The skeptical stranger. Yeah, prove to me you're good enough, maybe, I don't know. General guidelines. So clarify time and money issues up front, tell the truth, maintain balance, models of ethics and professionalism, very important. There's some tips for events there. The gift of a card, I don't know about that. It's talking about if you're giving somebody a 1-card reading, then to actually give them that card when they leave. So you can have a lot of incomplete decks, I think, if you do that. How would that work if several people had the same card in a 1-card reading? You know, if you've got 10 people at a party and they are, you know, half of them pull, I don't know, the same card, then you're going to need 5 decks. So I don't see how that can work, actually. And actually it's not something I would do. And maybe give them a screenshot of it, or let them take a photograph of the card might be a better way of doing that. Just a thought. Card in detail, Knight of Cups. And we have a chess piece here to say it's a knight. And we've got Romeo. A Knight of Cups. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou? Essential meanings. The seducer, seduced, and some keywords. And then we've got symbols from the card explained here. We've got 5 symbols explained. This is obviously the Radiant Wise version. Then we've got readings in different themes. So in your personal life, work, money, in divination, so an answer, a tip and timing. Psyche and soul, self-esteem, meditation, spirituality. This is what we get every issue, which is, you know, really useful actually. So what the card shows us, romance, huh? We have the court diagram, which we saw in the other issues from last month, putting the court cards in different parts of this diagram. Schematic. It's got the emotional action, emotions, assertiveness, potential, questions that you could journal with. Oh, it's useful. I like journal questions. Physical persona, so the occupations we could find the Knight of Cups in, and the appearance. See, this is really going back in time here. Young male, light brown hair, fair skin and light eyes. That's going back to how tarot used to be divined. Not so much now. And we've got different decks as usual, and there's the Klimt. One day I shall have that deck. I really want the gilded golden version though. It's quite expensive, I think. One day I shall have it. Oh, look at that knight. We have do not be fooled. Elegance often serves to hide a void. Oh. And the deck we have in this issue, the Angels, it says every sign is a message or a warning. Listen and heed your intuition. Worth. We still haven't had that deck either. I wonder if it's coming. A fiery character guided by reason. Seduction should not be a cruel game. It looks quite... Does it look cruel? It's a little look. A cruel seducer, huh? We have the traditional meanings here, upright and reversed, and then some more decks. So what have we got this time? We have, it's hard to get it on the screen, I'm sorry. Lo Scarabeo, Nefertiti, look at that horse. Wow. Pagan Tarot, Shaman Tarot, Manga Tarot, that's coming up, 46 and 47, so a few issues away yet. It's a dragon, water dragon. Quiet surface of bottomless power. That's interesting. The Fae Tarot, Tarot of the Pagan Cats. We had Tarot of the White Cats, we haven't had Tarot of the Pagan Cats. Prudence while crossing a river. Oh, that harks back to an old story, an old mythical story, isn't it? Different animals, but yeah. Okay, and the Universal Celtic Tarot with part 16 and 17. Look at that, it's like a spirit horse. Wow. Protection from evil. Nice. And we have a spread. Yes, we get a spread, which I really, really enjoy giving these a go. Well worth it. It's great practice as well. So what do we have here? Celestial Light Spread 1. So is that the path and is that the block? Maybe? Let's have a little look. Number of cards 4. Cards used, so we do use the major and the minor, and this is to highlight the querent's materials, psychological and spiritual strengths that they can use to face a challenge. Okay. Facing and overcoming challenges can be driving force in personal development. So is that the challenge? Let's look. Card 1, material resources. 2 is psychological resources. 3 is spiritual resources. 4, the celestial light. It's a message sent from heaven, so no, it's not. I got that one wrong. Never mind. We have some instructions. And then synthesis. Advice leads to action. That's quite interesting. Querents often appear enthusiastic about the tarot reader's advice, but they will need a plan of action if they are to benefit. So are they saying that the readers should provide this plan of action? Reinforcing words are not enough on their own. Turn encouraging statements into results. We need to combine them with action. The celestial light spread is ideal for this. By associating each strength with a strategy, the reader prompts the querent to make important changes to their life and habits. Okay. Meeting with angels. Okay, so it's how do we think of angels? What does the word angel mean to us as an individual? Could mean different things. So, you know, if you're religious, then obviously it's the Bible version of an angel as a messenger of God. Ancient Greece, it meant messenger. So yeah, it's still the same as it's a messenger. Okay. Tarot deck library, so all about the actual deck, the structure. So the background to the Tarot of the Angels. It might have gone a bit dark because it actually has started to rain now, I'm afraid. So we've got a breakdown of the major arcana. So should we have a look at one of the major arcanas? Let's have a look at the Hermit. Okay, so here we have the Hermit. What does it say? When all light in you is dim and every thought is dark, look in the mirror. Give yourself a smile and your life will be illuminated. Well, that's a really nice message, but I actually... Oh, that's a mirror. Oh, I get it now. I thought it was a book. So the angel is showing the mirror. Wow, that's interesting. I thought that was a book. I thought the angel was reading some sort of celestial script for the hermit to understand, because he's gone to the mountain for higher knowledge, but actually the higher knowledge is showing him himself in the mirror, and that is what that image there is in the mirror. That's the hermit reflected back. How clever. Okay. You learn something new every day with the tarot. It's a never-ending learning process. Brilliant. Designing the deck. Yep, some more about the background. The scenes depicted in the deck are adaptations of ancient concepts. Comparing themes. So this is what I do an awful lot. I actually do side by side with a Rider-Waite-Smith, with a lot of Rider-Waite-Smith inspired decks. I like to do that so I can actually, as a frame of reference really, and to see where it's the deck that I'm looking at, where it has similarities or deviations. I think it's a really useful exercise to do, and it's something I really enjoy doing. It's part of my deck studies. Always do it. Let's have a look at a minor arcana. So that was good fun, wasn't it? Let's do it with a minor. So random, we'll have, what have we got here? The Six of Cups. So there's the image. Cups, 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 6, 6. It says, soothe your heart often with the joys of the past. Good memories are elixirs. So yeah, it's still about nostalgia. Let's do a sword. Okay, we're on a 6 again. For some reason we're going on 6s. 6 of Swords. Leave your country if the need imposes it, but never deny your roots. Yeah, okay. That's just a little example of the minor arcana there. Turn the page, but we have a visual reference to the cards. And those are the majors. Oh, I just think that is so useful. Especially if you yourself haven't got a large space in which to spread cards out. I think it's really cool. So, sort of the index there. They call it Practice Makes Perfect, but it's an index of what pages to find. Practice, things to practice. That's cool. And then we have a teaser of what's coming next. So obviously in the next one we have the second part of Tarot of the Angels, and as I said in the subscription we get the two together. So here we are with part 2 or part 35. Okay, so we start with predictions versus advice. That's an interesting picture. What's that one from? The Pagan Tarot. Okay. So one type of reading is designed to predict the future, the other tries to help the querent make choices. I prefer the second. That is my sort of way of reading. I'm not a predictive reader, because I think the personal viewpoint is the fact you change your mind on one thing and the whole future changes anyway. You know, we're always in flux, we're always in motion. Change is a part of life. So yes, that's my own viewpoint. Alrighty, so what else do we have here? Future events. The more a prediction takes the present into account, the more accurate it will turn out to be. Sorry, I'm reading here. The main difference between a reading based exclusively on prediction and one designed to offer advice is that the latter implies that the person can change their future and take responsibility for it, and that's what I think. Totally. I think we're in charge of our lives to an extent. We're always free to make decisions. Okay, sample outcomes there, so doing it one way or doing it the other. So there's a prediction or an advice. That's 2 ways. Oh yes, the Pagan Tarot comes with part 51 and 55. So quite a way off. Oh, there's a way of doing it in a mixed spread, so doing both in one spread. So here, look, Magician. The Magician is all about the power to make things happen and therefore urges us to take control of our own futures. Adapting the question, picking spreads, summing up, and the card in detail is our Queen of Cups. Listening with the heart. Often aligned to counsellors actually and therapists, this card. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 symbols explained on the card. Again, the Radiant Wise. Some keywords, essential meanings. And then in different themes, personal, divination, psyche and soul, what the card shows us, exactly the same as the last, well, all of the magazines actually. The court diagrams, the Queen is here. Practical perception, so yeah, experience. Questions you can ask for journaling maybe. And then we have our different decks. Klimts, I want the Klimt. I'm getting obsessed with that now, aren't I? Oh dear, one day. Okay, physical persona. So occupations that we could find our Queen of Cups in, and their appearance: blonde haired female, fair skin and light eyes. Okay, traditional meanings: upright and reversed. What is it in our deck here? In the Angels. The person who listens to their conscience becomes an angel. And we have this time Los Scarabeo. It was a very pastel type deck, doesn't it? Tarot Draconis, we've already had that. I've been working with that deck as well. I really like that one. Universal Fantasy. Wow. The Pagan Tarot. We have, what's this one? The Shaman Tarot. The White Cats we already had. Not a big fan of that one. And Tarot of the Dark Grimoire, that one's coming. And the Fae Tarot, that one's coming as well. So in the Fae it says, living your dreams and giving them space. That's Universal Fantasy, the Queen of the House. So we've got that Celestial Light spread, the second part where they've actually done a sample reading and how it's been interpreted, so that's quite useful. And the synthesis of that, deeper meaning and a variation that you can try. That's interesting. Additional cards can be added, so they've put, have they done it there? Yeah. They've done additional cards to that spread, so one on each side here. The question, where? People often turn to the tarot for a reading because they are looking for something and want to know where to find it. Usually when a querent asks the question where, they aren't looking for an item they've lost, for example car keys, but rather a job, a partner, a home, a choice. So it doesn't need an accurate response. The querent is open to countless answers. There are no right answer, and each choice has its advantage and disadvantage. Interesting image here, because we've got a Page of Cups as a diviner. You know, using a water diviner stick there. So tarot, this is Tarot of the 78 Doors, which is coming in parts 36 and 37. So we have the top card there. It's an interesting deck by the looks of things. Card 1 represents the advantages, 2 represents the disadvantages, card 3 should be interpreted as a summary of the advantages and disadvantages of each choice. It's a 3-card spread they're looking at there. World of Tarot, now we have Tarot and Animals 2, the second part. So this looks, we're talking about cats here. Shamans and gods, tarot and cats, symbols of vice and virtue, animal instincts, obviously the Fool. Symbols of vice and virtue, so a white cat versus a black cat. The arrogant white cat sums up the triumphant nature of the Chariot, while the black cat in the Star card symbolises a cleansing ritual and spiritual energy. So the white cat is arrogant and the black cat is spiritual. Alrighty, let's get back to this one. So this is a visual representation of the miners. Again, really useful. And then the index, and that's the magazine. So on the back we've got the teaser for the next 2 issues, and we will be getting that Tarot of the 78 Doors. And let's have a little closer look at that. Okay, so we're going through doors. Wow. Yeah, looks good, doesn't it? We will get the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Swords from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, and the top box for the Tarot of the 78 Doors. We're going to talk about timing. The card in detail will be the King of Cups, and then we'll have in this one talking about absentee readings, so reading for someone who actually isn't there, and the card in detail will be the 8 of Pentacles, so we're going on to the final suit in the card in detail. So that's quite interesting, isn't it? I might try that Celestial Tarot spread. Anyway, so that was, just put the cards away, that was Total Tarot Magazine, parts 34 and 35, and the goodies that come with it. I do believe if you have the special versions that you're getting some crystals with this issue. I chose not to subscribe to that because as a crystal therapist I have a zillion crystals. Crystals is my thing, so there's no point really for me in actually collecting those. 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9. Lovely. Getting quite a way through this deck now. So thank you for watching my little walkthrough of Total Tarot Magazine for this issue, this mailing, and until the next video. Take care. Bye friends, bye.